There is a kind of silence that feels like a question. Not the silence of an empty room. The silence of waiting. You have felt it before. Late at night, staring at a ceiling, wondering why the answer you prayed for hasn't come. Or standing at a crossroads, two paths in front of you, and no voice telling you which one to take. Tonight, I want to tell you about a man who lived inside that silence for 11 years. 11 years between the promise and the proof. And what happened in those 11 years will change the way you think about waiting for the rest of your life. His name was Elias. He was 26 years old, standing on the edge of a wheat field that wasn't his, watching the sun go down on a life he didn't choose. 3 years earlier, Elias had a plan. A good plan. He was going to leave his village, study in the city, build something with his hands that people would remember. He had it mapped out, the road, the timeline, the future. Then one ordinary morning he heard something that wasn't ordinary at all. It wasn't a loud voice. It wasn't lightning in the sky. It was quieter than that, a certainty that settled into his chest like a stone dropped into still water. Stay. Not yet. There is something coming and you are not ready. Elias didn't understand it, but he obeyed it. And that single decision, to stay when everything in him wanted to leave, became the first step of the longest road he would ever walk. Here is what no one tells you about obedience. It is not one moment. It is not one brave decision made once, under dramatic music, with everyone watching. Obedience is 1,000 small surrenders that no one sees. Elias woke up every morning for the next 11 years not knowing why he was still in that village. He watched friends leave for the city. He watched them come back with stories, with money, with lives that looked like the one he had given up. And every single day, that same quiet certainty returned. Not yet. Stay. There were nights he argued with it. Nights he sat outside under a sky full of stars and asked out loud why he was the one being asked to wait while everyone else moved forward. No answer came. Just the silence. Just the question. But here is the part of the story that matters most. The part that took him years to understand. The silence was not empty. Something was happening in it. Something he could not see. Let me ask you something. Have you ever built a house? Not with wood and stone, with your character. With patience. With the parts of yourself that only grow strong in the dark, underground, where no one is watching and no one is applauding. That is what those 11 years were doing to Elias. Every act of obedience, waking up, staying, choosing trust over frustration, was laying one brick in a foundation he could not see yet. He did not know it then. But he was being built for something too heavy for the plan he originally had. The city dream he gave up? It was too small for what was coming. In year 9, everything fell apart. A drought came to the region. Elias watched the wheat fields, the very fields he had spent years learning, tending, understanding, turn brown and die under a sky that refused to give rain. Families in his village began to starve. And in that moment, standing in a field of dust where there used to be gold, Elias almost broke. He looked up and said the hardest prayer of his life. I stayed. I obeyed. And now I have nothing to show for it. Was any of this real? This is the moment every person who has ever tried to follow something greater than themselves will recognize. The moment right before the answer comes, when it feels the most like the answer will never come at all. But Elias had learned something in those 11 years that he didn't fully realize until this exact moment. He had learned the land. Every season of staying had taught him which parts of the valley held water underground, even in drought. Which hills sat above ancient wells forgotten by the older generations. Which soil, if dug deep enough, still remembered rain from years before. No one else in the region knew this. Only Elias, because only Elias had stayed long enough to learn it. He began to dig. Not in one place. In 7. The elders told him he was wasting the last of his strength. He dug anyway. On the 11th day of digging, water broke through the ground. Then again 3 fields over. Then a 3rd well, then a 4th. Word spread through the region faster than the drought had. Elias, the man who stayed, had found water where everyone else saw only dust. Villages that had nothing began to drink again. Families that had prepared to leave their homes stayed, planted, survived. And Elias, standing over a well that hadn't existed a month earlier, finally understood. The 11 years were never about the wheat field. They were about learning a land so deeply that when everyone else saw only disaster, he could see exactly where life was still hidden underneath. This is the long obedience. It is not applause. It is not a straight line from promise to proof. It is staying faithful in the field no one is watching, long after the excitement is gone, long after the reason has stopped making sense, because something is being formed in you that cannot be formed any other way. You cannot rush roots. You cannot shortcut depth. Every person who has ever done something that outlasted them, every act of courage that changed a family, a community, a generation, was preceded by years that felt like nothing was happening at all. Maybe you are in your field right now. Maybe you have been waiting for a door to open, a dream to make sense, a promise to finally arrive, and the silence has started to feel like abandonment instead of preparation. I want you to hear this clearly. The waiting is not empty. Somewhere beneath the surface of your ordinary days, something is happening that you cannot yet see. Roots are going down before anything is allowed to rise up. You are not being forgotten. You are being formed. Elias could have left that village in year one. He could have chased the smaller plan, the faster win, the life that looked good on the surface. Instead, he stayed long enough to become the one person who could save an entire region. Not because he was the strongest or the smartest, but because he was the one who obeyed the longest. That is the invitation in front of you tonight. Not a quick answer. Not a shortcut through the silence. A long obedience, one ordinary day at a time, until the ground beneath you finally breaks open, and everyone can see what only faith could have known was there all along. If this reached something in you tonight, stay in the field a little longer. The water is closer than you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more.